What's up YouTube? Today I want to talk about a couple of techniques for layering your leads. So the first two are stuff that I use more often, and the third one is a little bit more experimental, but that being said is I've started using it quite a bit lately because I think it's quite a cool tool to add like a texture or something to a particular lead. Anyway, let's dive in and have a look. So layering lead sounds is quite a common thing within psytrance, EDM, dance music. Most of these genres which you need kind of like very big sounds. Layering your lead sounds is a very nice and easy way to be able to create a very big sound without knowing too much about sound design and that kind of thing. So I often like to kind of go into the patch and create things, more on a kind of molecular level and make the patch itself sound, bigger. But that being said, is sometimes when I'm not feeling too creative, when I'm feeling a little bit lazy, sometimes I just kind of stack up a bunch of instances of a VST, load up some of my favorite presets that I've made in the past, and then look at layering those together. And sometimes, it's a different technique. Sometimes the desired output is kind of different to what I had in mind. So knowing all these techniques is definitely going to be a bonus. So the first one I want to have a look at is what I call frequency split layering. So this is using EQs or filters to kind of like build a kind of frequency spectrum for a particular lead sound. So here I've got a example which is made up of 4 layers. So I'm just going to go ahead and solo this group over here. It's made up of 4 layers. Each of them are playing the same MIDI pattern, but then you'll see there's various different vital presets loaded onto each one. So these presets are some of my presets from my upcoming Glitch Psytrance Essentials Volume 3 preset pack. You guys are going to hear more info about that in the next coming weeks. So yeah, like I said, let me show you quickly. This is from my Vital Volume 2 preset pack and a couple of other ones here. So what I want to do is just show you what it sounds like kind of layered together. I'm going to show you what they sound like all individually, and then I'm going to look at how I've kind of EQ'd them to kind of build the bigger picture. So let's start looking at each of these layers. What I actually want to do is I want to show you what happens, what it starts to sound like when I remove the EQ and stuff which I've used to kind of separate those different layers. And you'll start to hear that the things, those different layers start to kind of like clash with each other. You can see that the EQing that I've done is pretty subtle, but it helps to just kind of gel everything together nicely. So the trick with frequency split layering is to identify what part of the sound is the kind of core focus of the sound. For example, if we have a look at the second sound over here, let me just solo just this one, and we have a listen to. It's evident that that kind of like really high, buzzy, high frequency part of the sound is the kind of focus. So in this case, I didn't want too much of that kind of high frequency buzz, so I did reduce it a little bit at the top end here. So I've cut out almost all of the low end just to kind of like allow just that kind of mid and high frequencies to come through. Like I said, I reduced the high frequencies a little bit just so it's not too buzzy. With this sound here, how I layered it in is I wanted just that kind of high frequency to come in here. So notice how these two if we have to compare these two layers that I'm showing you guys at the moment here, the one has a bit of that high frequency reduced, while the other one has a bit of that high frequency boosted. So this is the idea that I'm trying to get across here with the frequency split technique, is that you're wanting to kind of carve out space for each of these sounds to kind of sit in their particular spectrum where they sound the best. So for example, we have one sound that's kind of really sparkly in the top end, one sound that's kind of sitting more in the mid to top end, one sound that's like nice in the mid range, and then one that's like lower mid, just to kind of add that punchiness. So we use the EQs to kind of carve out that spectrum for each of these sounds, so that we're building this kind of like overall bigger picture that not only fills the spectrum but also fills the stereo space. Okay, the next technique I call stereo split layering. So the idea with this is to identify which sound you kind of want to be more present in the mid-center image, and which sound you want to kind of like add sparkle to the kind of edges of the sound. So there's various ways of doing this. There's various plugins that can achieve this kind of thing. I like to use Kilohertz Stereo just because it's super simple. And the idea here is, if you have a look at Kilohertz Stereo, there's these two parameters here. Well, there's three parameters, but I don't really use the pan parameter. You can, however, do this and pan one sound hard left, one sound hard right, and one sound center. However, I find this particular technique, using this mid and width, is a little bit more... it creates this weird wideness, which is actually very pleasing. Check this out. The mid parameter basically just adjusts the gain or the volume of whatever content is in the center. So you can actually flatten the sound horizontally by reducing anything that's in the mid speaker, only allowing the kind of phase difference sounds through. So only allowing the kind of wide sounds through, and not anything that's in the center. And vice versa, you can use the width to kind of spread just the stereo image of the source material. So what am I getting at here? You can use this in combination. Say, for example, if you have two layers, you can kind of reduce the width of one layer using stereo, and then on the other layer use stereo to reduce the amount of mid-range content and maybe increase the stereo width. That way, creating an incredibly wide sound, and you've got incredibly good control over the frequency spectrum of each of these sounds. Because often what happens when we're using frequency split technique, when the pitch changes of the sound, the actual split frequencies don't change. Like the EQ doesn't adjust depending on the pitch of the sound and that kind of thing. So sometimes things might not sound as good when you're doing very melodic stuff. So anyway, let me give you guys an example here of what these layers sound like before, and then we're going to go into some stereo processing here. So you can hear this sound is already very present in the wide range, and it's got a very nice sparkly, wobbly sound. It's a little bit too wobbly to have like as the main center lead. So I think already, we've already identified which one I think is going to sound better on the sides. So what I want to do here is let's just enable this kilohertz. You'll see here what I've done is I've already reduced the mid-range. I don't go all the way down to 0 because that flattens it too much. It starts to sound a little bit too... how can I say, it starts to sound a little bit too artificial. And I've boosted the width ever so slightly, by about 129%. And then on the other channel, let's just jump over here. Let's have a look at this kilohertz stereo. So with this one, I've left the mid at 100%, but I've reduced the width down to about 59%. So we're kind of constraining that sort of high-pass saw wave lead to the mid-center, while the kind of wobbly psychedelic sounds are going to be in the stereo. See how that helps to really separate those two sounds. Without that kind of stereo processing, it sounds like those sounds are really on top of each other. It's noticeably like two different sounds. Now, when we start applying this kind of stereo split technique, it sounds like it could be one sound that's kind of like doing so many different things. So you get this kind of like sonic diversity by doing that, which kind of doesn't sound as obvious, which is a really, really cool technique. So here, what I like to do also is to use send reverb to kind of like further glue these channels together, to kind of like blur the lines between the two kind of individual synths and kind of make them sound more like a single unit. So here what I want to do is let's just go over here. Let's add an instance of Cloud Seed as a send effect onto this one. It's important to remember when you're using send effects to return to reduce the dry, because we've got dry coming through from the original channel anyway. So what I want to do is let's just apply some of the same reverb to both of these channels. So what I want to do is, now that we've got, by applying the same reverb to both channels, you're kind of putting them into the same room. Now what we can do is we can use this volume adjust on the send to kind of reduce the amount of depth of each sound. So for example, the more reverb that's on a sound, the further back it's going to sound in the mix. The less reverb there is on a sound, the kind of closer and upfront it's going to sound. So this mid-range, this kind of center image synth, we can reduce the amount of reverb on it so it's kind of sitting a bit forward in the mix, while the other sound is like a little bit further back and much wider. Okay, so the last technique I want to show you guys, like I said, this one is a little bit more experimental. I call it the spectral split technique. This one utilizes a plugin called Soothe. I'm sure you guys know of Soothe. And what I'm going to attempt to do with Soothe is to split the layers between... I can't explain it. You guys will see. What I'm going to need to do, though, is with each of these layers, I want to reduce any of the reverb or delay effects that are happening in the sound. So I'm going to jump into each one, into the effects section, and just remove the... we can actually just turn off the delay over here, and then we can jump into the other sound over here and just reduce the amount of any delays and reverbs and that kind of thing, because that's going to affect how it's splitting the sound. Let's just turn off reverb and delay. We can always add those in again onto each channel after we've used the kind of split technique. So anyway, let's just have a quick listen to what's happening here with the sound. So this sound, the bottom one, the bottom layer, has this like nice resonant pluckiness to it that I feel like it's got a nice texture, a nice wobbliness, like I said. Whereas this one is kind of lacking in that frequency range and that kind of like amount, that kind of spectral response. So what we can do is we can use a plugin called Soothe, which is, it's not designed for this use. What it's designed to do is it's actually designed to remove these kind of resonant tones from a sound. See, it's designed to remove these kind of plucky resonant tones from a sound. You can use this delta parameter over here to listen to only the effects of what's being removed. So here what we can do is we can use this delta to kind of like fine tune to only capture that kind of like that weird resonant sound, that kind of texture, and then we kind of layer it onto the other layer. So now what we want to do is we want to duplicate this instance of Soothe onto the other channel and then just turn off the delta. So essentially it's running the same set of rules on the sound, but it's the inverted. So it's allowing space for this frequency range to kind of sit there. Check this out. Now we can go ahead and add in some effects again, like a delay and some of that reverb again, just to kind of like add in some of those effects that we removed from the source sounds. Awesome, that is about all that we have time for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments. As always, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you want to support what I do here, then consider heading on over to my Patreon and checking out all the different perks that I've got for you guys over there. See you guys next time. Cheers.